everyone, welcome back to Must Read Monday. My name is Dabney. I'm the young adult librarian with the Twin Lakes Libraries, and I use they, them pronouns. So for today's episode, we are going to be talking about Banned Books Week, which is going to take place next week. So get that ball rolling. If you've never heard of Banned Books Week, it is something that the American Library Association created in 1982, and this is from their website, in response to a sudden surge in the number of challenges to books in schools, bookstores, and libraries. Typically held in the last week of September, it highlights the value of free and open access to information. And each year, the committee at the American Library Association puts together a list of the top 10 challenge books of the previous year. So we've got a list here of the books from 2021, and they also have like a little write-up as far as like the reasons people were wanting to ban and challenge these books. So I'm just going to go through these books really quick and let you know where you can find them, where you can read them. So 10 books, and we have almost all of them in the library. Most of these are young adult books, and quite a few of them are nonfiction. So Genderqueer, this is a graphic novel memoir, so nonfiction. We have it at the Hancock Branch. Here is our copy right here. We're in the Hancock Branch right now, in case you didn't know. The next book is Lawn Boys. That is an adult book. We don't have it here. It's over at the Mary Vinson and the Adult Fiction Collection. All Boys Aren't Blue by George M. Johnson. Right here, this is another nonfiction book. It's a memoir. Out of Darkness by Ashley Hope Perez. This is one we don't have in our physical collection, but you can get it on Libby or Hoopla. It's available as ebook and audiobook, or you can get it through the Pine system if you want like a physical copy to read. The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. Right here, fiction book. Also has a movie adaptation. It's amazing. The Absolutely True Diary of a Part-Time Indian by Sherman Alexie. Right here. And this one and The Hate You Give are both in our young adult collection at the Mary Vinson. Me and Earl and the Dying Girl by Jesse Andrews. That one we don't have a copy of either, but it is available on Hoopla and Libby as an ebook and audiobook, or again, you can get it through Pines. The Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison. That is an adult fiction book over at the Mary Vinson collection. Beyond Magenta, Transgender Teens Speak Out. This is a nonfiction young adult book. We do have a copy here at the Hancock Branch, but it's currently checked out. So, you can wait for it to get back. And I'm also going to have a list in the notes as far as all of the books, if they're available on Hoopla and Libby too. And then finally, this book is Gay by Juno Dawson. This is a young adult nonfiction book, and yes, we do have it here at the Hancock Branch. This is like an updated edition. You can see this one has the updated pride flag, and this is like the older edition. But same content, just more content, updated content. It's all good. So why were people wanting to ban and challenge these books? So for Genderqueer, banned, challenged, and restricted for LGBTQIA+ content, and because it was considered to have sexually explicit images. This is one that has been in the news a lot with primarily like school collections, with it wanting to be like removed. So banned, that means basically people want it off the shelves, out of the library. Nobody can get it. They're taking it down, and that's how it is. Challenge is when people want that to happen, but it doesn't actually go through. Like the school board, usually there's a committee that meets when there is a challenge to a book, and it's a whole process, which you can read about some more online. But if the challenge doesn't go through, like if the book isn't banned, then it's just been challenged. Or restricted, that might be, instead of having it on the shelf for anyone to look at, maybe they take it and they put it behind the desk, the librarian's desk, and they're like, maybe you have to have written permission from a parent or something to check it out. So they're restricting access to the materials. Here at the public library, of course, we've got things on the shelves. And like I said, all of these books, almost all of these books are young adult books. And so, they are out on the shelves for you. We don't have any in our collection that are restricted in any way. And if you have questions about them, you can always ask me. I love to talk about books, love to have people asking about books, so don't hesitate. Okay, moving right along. I'm not going to get into the adult books just because I'm a young adult librarian and we're talking about young adult books here, so you can read about those if you're super curious. All Boys Aren't Blue, banned and challenged for LGBTQIA+ content and profanity, and because it was considered to be sexually explicit. Out of Darkness, banned, challenged, and restricted for depictions of abuse, and because it was considered to be sexually explicit. The Hate U Give, banned and challenged for profanity and violence, and because it was thought to promote an anti-police message and indoctrination of a social agenda. The Absolutely True Diary of a Part-Time Indian, banned and challenged for profanity, sexual references, and use of a derogatory term. This Book is Gay, banned, challenged, relocated, and restricted for providing sex education and LGBTQIA+ content. Relocated also could be I was saying restricted. They might move it off the shelves, move it somewhere else in the library. That could be the case here. I don't know the specific instance here, but it could have been that somebody is like, well, this doesn't need to be in the young adult collection. We need to move it to the adult collection, which I don't know, like I said, if that's exactly what happened, but that could be what people did, in which case I'm like, it is specifically written for teens. Okay, and then Beyond Magenta, banned, challenged for LGBTQIA+ content, and because it was considered to be sexually explicit. And I'll just go ahead and throw this out there that of all of these books, let's see, which ones have I read? I've read Genderqueer, All Boys Aren't Blue, The Hate U Give, The Absolutely True Diary of a Part-Time Indian, and I haven't read them cover to cover, but I've flipped through and skimmed Beyond Magenta and This Book is Gay. And I'm going to get to the other ones because, yes, I do believe in reading banned books, and I do want to be familiar with these books, so I'm getting on it. You can ask me about them later. So that is what the top 10 list is, and also this year the theme is Books Unite Us, Censorship Divides Us. And book challenges can be extremely divisive in communities and schools. Essentially, people are wanting to say certain content is inappropriate, which also kind of implies certain people are inappropriate. If you say, I don't want this book about LGBTQIA+ people, it's kind of like saying you don't want those people in your schools either. That's kind of the message that's being sent. And yes, at the library, we do believe in free and open access to information for all people. We're not going to, remove books just because certain people have certain opinions about those books. We're going to have them open for all. And, there's a quote out there, and I can't remember who says it, but it's like, a good library collection should have something in it to offend everyone. We're all different people, each one of us. We have different ideas, we have different beliefs, different opinions, and we're not always going to agree, obviously. But the main thing is to, keep dialogue open, keep the ideas out there, and not to shut that down for people. And last of all, I was going to close this out with something, and then I'm like, last of all, what, Dabney? Who knows? Yeah, so this Banned Books Week is next week, and we'll have some activities in the library about that. And I think that was all I was going to say about this. I was moving right along, and then I got to the end and choked. But, yeah, I hope y'all have a good week. I hope you get a chance to check out some of these books, and I hope you have some good conversations about them. And I just remembered where my brain was trying to go, and it was that I read a really great middle grades fiction book about book challenges and book bans that I think would be really good for anyone to read to kind of get into these discussions. And that was the Answers in the Pages by David Levithan. So I would also say check that one out because it really gets into the whole process from multiple points of view, from students, from teachers, from administrators, from parents, from the author. It's a really good book that really gives a comprehensive overview of a book challenge in I think in a middle school, and kind of how that plays out. All right, I will talk to you all later. Bye.